"You lied to me, Sergeant Cerner." Judge Lou Oliveira's voice thundered through the packed courtroom, every syllable hanging heavy in the tense silence. Heads turned, murmurs hushed, all eyes locked onto the trembling man standing before the bench. His shoulders hunched, fists clenched, eyes fixed on the ground like a soldier awaiting fire. "You know what that means," the judge continued. The air snapped with tension. Sergeant Joseph Cerner, a highly decorated green beret with 3 purple hearts, didn't flinch at bullets in Kandahar, but now, here in a courtroom back home, he looked like a man already broken. His lip trembled slightly. The man had survived bomb blasts, ambushes, and the horror of drowning inside a sunken armored vehicle. But this? This shame was different. Years ago in Afghanistan, Cerner had been trapped in a canal after his convoy was ambushed. Water rushed in, freezing cold and black. As it filled his vehicle, panic clawed up his chest. He was ready to die. But another soldier, Sergeant James Traber, plunged in after him, pried open the hatch, and pulled Cerner out, only to drown himself. That act of selfless sacrifice haunted Cerner every single night since. And in his battle to silence the guilt and grief, he turned to alcohol. When he returned stateside, the nightmares didn't stop. The booms of explosions echoed in his sleep. The faces of lost comrades haunted his every quiet moment. Alcohol numbed it until it didn't. A DUI charge followed, then a veterans treatment program where Cerner met Judge Lou Oliveira, a man who wasn't just any judge. He was a fellow soldier, a Gulf War veteran, someone who understood pain behind stoic eyes. But that day, Cerner had confessed something. He had lied during a routine drug screening, falsified a test, betrayed the trust of the court and the judge who'd gone out on a limb to help him. "I'm sentencing you to 24 hours in jail," Judge Oliveira said firmly. Gasps whispered through the gallery. Cerner gave a slow nod. He didn't argue. He didn't plead. He knew the consequences, but what nobody knew was how terrified he was. Not of jail, but of solitude, trapped in a cell, alone with the weight of his mind, the voices of the past, the faces of the fallen. His PTSD could spiral. One night alone could be catastrophic. That evening, as Cerner walked into the jail, flanked by officers, his boots echoed like a march toward something darker than war. The steel door clanged shut behind him, locking him into a small, cold cell. He sat on the edge of the cot, head in hands, trying to steady his breathing. Then, the door opened again, and in walked Judge Lou Oliveira. He closed the door behind him. No guards, no fanfare. "I'm staying with you," he said simply. Cerner looked up, stunned. "Sir." "No soldier should be left behind," Judge Oliveira added, lowering himself onto the concrete bench beside him. For the next 24 hours, the 2 veterans sat side by side. No robes, no uniforms, just 2 men who had seen hell and carried it home with them. They talked about their deployments, about the ones who didn't make it back, about what it meant to survive when so many others didn't. Tears were shed, laughter even slipped through, and something unspoken passed between them, an understanding, a healing neither man had ever quite felt before. When Cerner walked out the next day, he wasn't just a veteran serving a sentence. He was a man who'd been seen, heard, and held in his darkest hour. Back in the courtroom, news of what happened spread fast. Lawyers cried, journalists wrote furiously, court staff stood in awe. A judge had chosen not to punish with power, but to heal with humility. Judge Oliveira would later say, "I didn't want him to be alone." Sometimes the most important thing we can do is just be there. And that moment, it changed everything. Not just for Cerner, but for every broken veteran who thinks no one understands. For every soldier battling silent wars at home. For every person who has ever needed someone to sit with them in their darkness. This wasn't just about justice. It was about mercy, about connection, about the quiet power of presence. Because sometimes the greatest sentence is to serve together. Before we end this story, let us know in the comment, where are you watching from? If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and drop a comma in the comments below.